Hmm. All right. What's going on, everyone? Heavy Metal Hotep back with another Motive Mondays for y'all. Hope everybody's doing well. Just having a peaceful, prosperous, and productive afternoon slash night, or whenever you're watching this. Yeah, hope everybody's doing good. So, real quick before we get into the video, as usual, want to make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and share. Um, Most importantly, subscribe if you're not already. Make sure that you click that bell. Um, you know, if you like what we got going on over here, hopefully you guys will share the video, share your thoughts in the comments below. Yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So, as you guys can see in the title, tonight's topic, it's about setbacks and how to deal with them. Because let's be honest, when it comes to achieving your goals, when it comes to trying to do whatever it is that you want to do in life, short-term goals and long-term goals, you want to make sure that when setbacks do happen, because trust me, they will, you want to make sure that you know how to deal with them properly. And obviously, there's going to be different ways of dealing with them. There's different types of setbacks, different types of um, different levels. They vary, right? So, regardless of whatever kind of setback it is, you want to make sure, always want to make sure that you're ready for them. You make sure that you deal with whatever BS that might happen while you're trying to achieve a certain goal or accomplish something. So, first, we should talk about the fact that no matter what it is that you're trying to get out of life, no matter what it is that you're trying to achieve or trying to do, setbacks are going to happen. You're going to have times where you might fail at something, or something might not go exactly your way. And obviously, to whatever degree it is, it's going to be frustrating. It's going to be frustrating. It's going to be something that you might not expect. It's going to be something that you're going to have to handle on the same token, right? You're going to have to make sure that you take the time necessary. And by the way, um, patience. This is the last week's episode. Go check that out if you guys want to after the stream. Um, but it goes hand in hand. You want to make sure that you take the time necessary to, assess whatever setback it is, whatever issue comes up. Make sure you do the things necessary to fix said problem, continue on. Now, it could be easy to just sit there and have a setback come up, have something not go as planned, and then you just give up altogether, right? And that's easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can easily just sit there and say screw it and try to move on to something else. But the reality is, I mean, just about anything that you do, there's always going to be setbacks. So, what do you want to do? You want to have a bunch of unfinished projects because every single time that some gets hard or gets tough or something unexpected happens, you just stop at it and try to move on to the next thing. I mean, what you're going to find is you're going to have a bunch of unfinished things that you've tried to accomplish, and not one of those things has been seen through. So, essentially, what you want to do is when you have a certain setback, or um, whether it be big or small, you want to make sure that you maintain your focus, and that, again, another thing that we talked about, staying focused. um it's another episode, because all this stuff honestly ties in together. It's all connected at the end of the day. Sure, there's different subjects and there's different aspects of motivation and finding what motivates you, whatever your motive is, but at the end of the day, it's all connected, which is why I do this podcast in the first place, specifically on this topic, because a lot of people, I would say, can deal with this. A lot of people can understand this. A lot of people do deal with this and can relate. So, essentially, the best thing to do is to take a step back, look at what's going on, assess the problem, and then start taking the time necessary to figure out a solution. You don't want to spend too much time worrying about the problem, right? Sure, identifying it is very important. And once you get to that point, then you want to figure out, then you want to spend the time that you normally would be dwelling on what the issue, like the issue itself is, when mind you, you already know what it is. And you want to take that time and start dwelling on a solution. Because ultimately, whatever goal it is that you're trying to achieve, you started for a reason. So what you want to do is you want to continue with that goal, right? You don't want it to all be for nothing. Especially if there's other setbacks that you went through and you ended up getting through those, right? That's another thing. We're not talking about just a setback that happens and an issue that arises and it's just a one-time thing. I mean, you're going to find that in different goals that you're trying to achieve, you're going to sometimes have more than one issue, especially if it's like a multifaceted or multi-step process for certain goals that you're trying to achieve or certain things you're trying to do or accomplish. There's going to be different types of setbacks and all that. So, again, just to recap, basically like the TLDR, what you want to do is assess the problem, figure out what it is, start brainstorming on solutions, real solutions that are either going to fix the problem or make it less of an issue. Because not all the time, it's not all the time that you're going to be able to have a problem that's solved and done away with. Some, sure, but I would say some might be an issue that really can't be solved to the extent of it doesn't exist anymore, but more than likely you're going to find that there's something that can be done to make it less of a problem at the very least. So that's I would say the first thing I would say as far as setbacks and how to deal with them. The second thing would be make sure that you're being honest with yourself when it comes to solving these problems or finding ways to make them less of an issue. I mean, at the end of the day, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're not falling victim to the easy way out or just a cop out, right? You want to make sure that these possible solutions that you find, excuse me, these possible solutions that you find, and also um, these different ways of lessening said problem are actually like they're tangible. They're actually something that would really work and you get some type of real results with. I mean, it's easy to just think of the first thing that comes to mind, just go with that, knowing that you might have a better solution or a better route to take than just the first one that you think of. Now, sometimes you might get overwhelmed with time frame. Maybe you don't have a whole lot of time to figure something out. Maybe realistically, that's just that's just the situation, and that's fine. I mean, you're gonna have situations where you don't have a whole lot of time to figure something out, but you're gonna have to take some time to do that, and you might have to go with the first one or two things that comes to mind. Either way, that's better than doing nothing, right? That's better than just quitting altogether, giving up, and just saying, yeah, screw it. Could, but I would argue that when it comes to certain things that are like that you want to achieve or things that are important, it's probably not like I don't think I need to tell you guys. It's probably not a good idea to just do something like that. So the second thing I would say is just not to get try not to get frustrated anyway. Trying to get frustrated. Try to figure something out rather than just not doing anything or just going with the first thing that comes to mind because it's easy and you may not feel like taking more time to think about what needs to be done. If you have that time, take advantage of that. If you don't, well, just remember those first couple solutions that you come up with is going to be better than being indecisive and not doing anything in the first place. So I probably should have said in the beginning of the stream that this is going to be a short episode. It's going to be in about 10 to 12, maybe 15 minutes, somewhere around that time. But, um, see, I don't think there's really much to say about setbacks when the bottom line is when it comes to a goal that you're trying to achieve and the setbacks that inevitably will come with whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, especially the more grandiose the goal is. Whatever that may be, whatever setback might come, whatever setbacks might come, bottom line is you got to figure something out and you can't be scared to do so. That's just how it is. You can't be scared to do so. And you can't dwell on the problem itself too much. It's easy to fall victim to that when the first step is to identify the problem. And I think that some people, like, sometimes what we do is we'll sit there and try to delay the work part of it. Sure, we'll figure out what the problem is, but we'll, for whatever reason, want to delay the work part of actually getting to that solution or lessening the problem at the very least. Because that's just as important as figuring out what the issue is to begin with. And sometimes what we'll do is we'll stay dwelling on the issue and not even considering a solution, not even looking for one. We'll just complain about it and complain. And I'm sure you know those type of people who all they want to do is complain. Oh, woe is me. And then, like, I'm sure you guys have friends like that. You know, you tell them a solution. Oh, well, you know, they come to you with a problem and then you tell them a solution and you give them something that probably would work. Granted, if they actually listen to the advice. You've heard their problem, you've thought critically about it, and give them a couple solutions, but they ain't trying to hear that. All they want to do is talk about the issue and talk about it and dwell on it and complain. And that's a whole nother topic because then you can get into the whole victim mindset thing and all that other stuff that honestly, I mean, doesn't help anyone. And quite frankly, I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure you guys know people like that, have friends like that. I'm sure you find it annoying, whether you tell them or not. I'm sure that you do. So, with that being said, I mean, there's not really much else to talk about when it comes to setbacks. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. Figure out what the issue is, then start trying to figure out solutions for said issue. And at the very least, figure out something that'll make it less of an issue if you can't exit out altogether. And then keep going. Because the easy way out is to just sit there and not perform, not figure it the fuck out, and just mope around, you know? It's easy to just do that. And honestly, when it comes to motivation and finding your motive, I mean, the whole idea is not for it to be easy, but for it to be real. I mean, the honest truth is it's not always going to be easy, but it will be rewarding, I would say. At the end of the day, it'd be rewarding. Think about it. I mean, you're achieving your goals, you're accomplishing things, you're building. I mean, at least from a guy's perspective, I mean, that's what we're made for. That's what we're built for. Well, that's the kind of, we get enjoyment out of that. Far more than I would say anyone else. Or at the very least, building. Think about it, conquering and all that. Same thing as accomplishing your goals and achieving stuff. So, all in all, don't fall victim to the easy way out of not figuring out different solutions to your problems. And don't be surprised when issues do arise when it comes to things that you're trying to accomplish and achieve in life. It's going to happen. You're going to have to figure it out. And if you don't, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, whatever goals that you're trying to achieve, they ain't going to happen. And that's not what you want. Otherwise, why would you have started doing whatever goal it was, or trying to work to whatever goal you're trying to achieve? Why would you have done that in the first place? Right? So that's all I got for you guys tonight. Hope everybody enjoyed the video. And again, make sure you guys like, comment, share. Definitely subscribe if you're not already. Anybody that you think that might need to hear this, or might need to check out some of the content that I got going on here, definitely share it with them. Whether it be a family member, a friend, significant other, whatever it may be, whoever it may be. Because I really think that, I mean, the whole reason why this podcast even exists is to make sure that people understand that motivation is important. And if you lack that, you have to start looking for what was your motive to even think of set goal, long term or short term, or whatever it is that you want to do in life. At the end of the day, you thought, you had those thoughts, you had these ideas for a specific reason. Something sparked that. What motivated you to do that? Find that and go from there. Use that as your motivation. So, with that being said, hope everybody has a peaceful, prosperous, and productive night/day. Whenever you're listening, wherever you're listening. And I will catch you guys on the next stream. Peace. Hotep.